I've got 10 more Midjourney styles for you this week. Simply enter these phrases at the end of your prompt separated by a comma. You'll get some images similar to what you see on screen here. And the first one I'm going to start with is Voidpunk. Very similar to Cyberpunk, but a little bit different. So you can see here with Pikachu, it sort of adds like most of the punk styles tend to add jackets and 80s cyberpunk vibes to them, but it kind of twists the style a little bit. You can see with Pikachu here with his clothing. But moving on to Goku, he's a little bit cyberpunk, but like it adds a lot of neon sort of pink and blues to a lot of these images. A little bit of a different sort of vibe. I don't know necessarily where Void comes in, but with Darth Vader, we lose that kind of neon color, but we get a lot of robotic sort of additions to his helmet and suit. And of course, the Terminator, we're back to that neon blue and pink look. A lot more detail in the suit and the machinery around him. The same with Batman. He's really gadgeted up his suit, and again, we've got that neon-y look to the image. And the samurai standing in front of Mount Fuji, a little less machine-like, but the way it's used the colors and framed it up was a really nice effect. So you can sort of get some different effects with this particular phrase. But the Hulk, he is sort of stripping down. There's bits of machinery sort of just popping out. You can kind of see it if you get a close look. However, it's gone for more of a painted style with this image. The next one is rock album cover design. Now this produces either someone playing in a band or gives you a really cool image you could use on an album cover. So something like this, I think, make a really good album cover. Is a woman's face. And Goku, he is playing the guitar and it is framed up in a way that would make a really cool album cover. And the modern family home isn't modern at all, but again, would just make a really cool album cover, a bit different. The way the house is corroding, and you got the musical equipment sitting in front of the house. And Darth Maul. This again, if Darth Maul made an album cover, I think this would be it. And of course, Pikachu playing the guitar. He's a rock star. And Optimus Prime. This one was a little bit different, but still doesn't look like a rock album cover. It looks more like he's singing some kind of soulful, spiritual music, but still pretty cool image. And the Terminator. Very different again, looking evil, and his brand of music, probably some form of really dark, sort of boomy techno. And Samurai standing in front of Mount Fuji. This looks like it could be a cool album cover as well, and just a nice image. And in the style of Commodore 64 graphics, for those who don't know, Commodore 64s were computers you could buy and plug into your TV in the 80s. So we've got Batman here looking very pixelated, very much like Commodore 64 game. And you can see the theme carrying on with the Hulk. Just that graphic style. Terminator, you can sort of get the idea by now. It just has a really cool pixelated effect. Even, I think, a bit better than actual pixel art. Pixel art doesn't tend to actually produce pixels. It tends to give it a low-res pixelation look, but these images actually have square pixels in them, which is one of the reasons I really like this style. So definitely, if you're looking for a pixel art style, try in the style of Commodore 64 graphics. And this is a good example of how pixel art would normally turn out. There's not really many pixels in this particular image, but has an old-fashioned computer graphics sort of style of shading and color to it. And the modern family home just looks like something from an old Commodore 64 game, although I will admit, a little bit better. The Commodore 64 graphics didn't quite have this many colors in them. With Goku, I love this little pixelated version of him, looking very cool. And peanut butter jelly time, a little bit of a different one. This one's more of a fun style just to have a play with. Puts peanut butter on the woman's face, and it'll either do something with the peanut butter on the character or simply have them eating peanut butter and jelly, much like Darth Vader here. But it does change the nature of the image a little bit. The colors are a little bit funny, and you can notice here, even with the futuristic car, there's like some peanut butter on the top of it, but it's chosen peanut butter style colors for the layout of the image. And same with the home. I don't know how this relates, but just the choice of colors and the way it alters the image is pretty interesting. But then when you move on to the Terminator, he is also of peanut color style. The eyes kind of match the jelly in a little bit. And he's also eating peanut butter and jelly. This was just a fun one. Not as impactful on some images as the other styles in this video, but still a fun one to play with. And I want to mention that this week I released my full comprehensive Midjourney online course. I cover a bunch of topics, and I start off right from the beginner phase through to advanced techniques and even what you can do beyond with Midjourney images to sort of surpass the limitations of Midjourney. So if you're interested, check out the link below if you'd like to check out my course. There's a few free videos on there to get you started. But the next one is presidential candidate propaganda. So considering all the hype at the moment, I thought this would be a fun one to try. Goku dressed up, ready to run for president. He's even shortened his hair a little bit somehow. So, but he's Super Saiyan because he really wants to win. And Pikachu has got the suit on. I will say that for some reason, though, looking at this image of Pikachu, he doesn't look like the ideal candidate, even though there's nothing really. There's just a vibe I get from this picture that says I wouldn't vote for this guy. The Terminator, however, he looking very proper, staring straight into the camera, still looking evil. Interesting little American flag on his jacket there. I think it's really referenced Arnold Schwarzenegger a little bit with the choice of jacket and thing here too. But in the background, the buildings in the background looking very cool. Now, a lot of the time we do get American stars, stripes, and that kind of thing. Optimus Prime looking a little Captain America-esque in this image. Darth Maul, I love the fact that his suit is completely black with the red tie, with the American flag in the background. This was a really nice artistic choice of colors and dress-ups for Darth Maul. And Superman, he's basically an all-American looking sort of hero, American flag in the background. And Hulk, he's got the shirt off, but the tie and collar to show you that he can be respected as this presidential race. And the woman's face, we popped an old woman's face sort of embedded into a flag, so bit of an interesting impact. And the futuristic car just has a flag on the front, sitting in front of, now I don't live in America, so I don't know what these buildings are called. I live in Australia, but just a cool overall look. And of course, Ringlight is the next one. This one was a very interesting impact on the images, not what I expected, but very cool. Tends to add rings of light around people. Sometimes you get just a normal ring light effect, but the lighting and the effect on this was very dramatic. This is sort of more the idea I had in mind, the woman's face in front of a ring light. So this is the idea I had, and it turned out that way for the woman's face. But for the rest of the images, we got this cool ring light effect, which I thought was a bit different. And of course, Optimus Prime, he's got like 2 ring lights attached to his hands, and just the darkness and the glow is very cool lighting. And Darth Maul, again, that really cool portal style ring light in the background. I love the fact that his horns are sticking out. And if you look closely, it has a little bit of a goatee. So this is a version of Maul we haven't seen yet. And we got Pikachu kind of sticking out through a ring light here, looking cute. And once again, that lighting, very cool with the dark background, but that light just really intense. And the futuristic car has lights around the wheels, so it's a good way to incorporate the ring light into that image. And Harlequinn romance novel. So this was a little bit different and has an interesting impact on some of these characters. The Incredible Hulk. I don't think this is as romantic for the woman as it is for him, unless they both are just kind of angry. Maybe it's why they're made for each other. Darth Vader celebrating his winning anniversary in a very depressing fashion because obviously Padme is not there at the moment. And the Terminator proves that, anyone has a face that can be loved for some reason. This woman seems to be, pretty much up for it. So a bit of a different take on the Terminator. And I love this Dragon Ball Z one here. Very cool, very sort of relatively comic accurate. And Batman, he's got a new girlfriend, and he's looking very serious there. And Megatron, I usually get some pretty ordinary results of Megatron, but I thought this was funny. It's kind of like a massive robot with a guy's head sticking out of it, and just an interesting sort of impact that this phrase has had with Megatron. Otherwise, we have minimal product photo. So this one turned out different as well, but still more or less what you'd expect. So we've got the Incredible Hulk. The way it kind of focuses on the character, and it kind of just frames him up very central. There's not a lot in the background of this one, which is more what I expected, but not all of them turned out that way. The Modern Family home just looks like a very clean, minimalist sort of style home, but very modern. And the Terminator, very clean background. Just that little bit of red in the shades is a nice touch for the Terminator style. And Batman, nice plain background, Batman in the center, and Darth Vader. He is just like an actual product. Now, some of the images I got from this didn't have plain backgrounds. I want to mention that, but a lot of the ones I'm showing here are kind of like the best examples of how this worked. See Optimus Prime. It's just like a product photo of him, almost like as a kind of like a half Lego, half Transformer figure, but outside for some reason. And the futuristic car, a minimalist looking car, very minimal, clean photo altogether. And Pikachu looks like a little Pikachu figure, just on a yellow backdrop. Very minimal, very clean, like a product. And in the style of a US $1 bill. So you can see here, it can't quite get the text right, but overall, it does a pretty good job. We have now, this one was a little bit different. Optimus Prime actually transforms from the bill, which I thought was interesting, but the rest of them tend to have more this style, most of them, where it's someone printed over a $1 bill. So once Darth Maul's a little bit different, he's a little bit more three-dimensional, but still some of that artwork's in the background. But Superman, he's on the bill. The drawing style, this is a very close representation of what I thought this phrase might do. And the same with the Incredible Hulk. That drawing style, that crosshatch style, added a bit of green in there as it tends to do. I love the fact that the text is all jumbled up. So if you wanted to use this, you could probably Photoshop in some text or simply add text in the image editor afterwards. And Goku, a bit more of a drawing, rough drawing style, and a little sort of just a slight step away from the others. And the Terminator. This one's a little bit more accurate. Like I said, more what I expected from this style, and just a really cool frame-up image. And you might want to change the aspect ratio if you want it to match a $1 bill a bit more closely. Kintsugi skeleton. Now, I've done Kintsugi before, but I loved the impact adding a skeleton had to this phrase. If you check out Goku, for one, the image and the head is really awesome, but you get to see some of his skeleton below his neck and head, which is really cool. And Darth Vader, once again, the head's the same, bit of Kintsugi, but a skeleton underneath. And somehow he looks less terrifying this way. And the Terminator is literally just a skeleton. While Barbie, looking very hardcore like Kintsugi, looks a little goth, black hair, very Kintsugi look. There's a lot of images I really liked with this phrase. Pikachu, a little bit terrifying again, but that gold look is just really nice. And a woman's face. I really loved the impression this image got, like way it's incorporated the skull elements with the facial elements together, and the mixing of Kintsugi with the black and white. The fact that the nose has black on it, almost like it's skull face paint, is very cool. And Mickey Mouse, creepy as hell. This somehow still smiling, but I love the overall impact. I really love this Darth Maul image, the way that the black and the gold are on one side, we've got the red on the other, and it has that skull effect added on the top. This is a really cool image. I'd actually love to have this, I reckon, just sitting on a shelf in my office. And the samurai standing in front of Mount Fuji. This one, really cool. I like this image. Anytime I get a samurai with a skull face, it always just looks cool. And Superman. So this looks more like a flat sort of print. And the same with Batman, same impact. I really love that his mouth is a skull, sort of like teeth and nose. Makes for a very cool image. The final style, which I was inspired by the US dollar bill, is as a coin. So you can see the woman's face, just sort of pops it into a coin. Same with Batman, he's in a coin, although the ears are sticking out just a little bit. So that's one sort of slightly innovative looking coin. And Goku. I love this, and the little symbol off to the right, and the bronze look with the white eyes. This is just a really cool design style. And you don't have to use it for a coin. You can use it for some kind of bronze sign or like in an image, something like that. And the Terminator, just a really cool coin with the use of the Terminator sort of skull. And the Incredible Hulk, a green coin, a little bit different, but has like a bronze kind of like sort of tint to it. And Deadpool, just kind of like one coin sitting on another coin. Really sharp image. It captured the texture of the suit really well for a coin. And Darth Vader. Why am I not surprised that he is Bitcoin? I don't know. Just something about the fact that he's mostly a robot, and the fact that he has a Bitcoin on him, I think is an interesting mix. And Pikachu is just standing on top of a coin. So a little bit different, but still he's got a coin kind of texture of like that bronzy sort of metallic look to him. So it kind of worked out okay, but not quite as good as the others. But overall, those are the images for this week, guys. I hope that you found them fun, enjoyable, have a bit of fun with them. And don't forget, if you're interested, check out my Midjourney course. There's a link in the description below. A few free videos if you want to see how that course starts out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you again next time, and have a great weekend.